So one of the things that I do with my clients that really helps them to get over their anxiety, it gives them confidence, is I take them out in public and we go for a walk. You know, we go for a walk and a talk, and I take them for a coffee. We sit down, we go for coffee, we go for dinner. And these may sound like simple things, which they are, but these things change your life. As you guys know, you suffer with the anxiety. I call it the anxiety problem. If you don't get a grip of it, you don't want to come out the house. You know, you're just afraid of everything. You don't want to be around people. You don't want to be in public. So the exposure therapy is life-changing. Now, of course, I'll be honest, it's tough at the start. It is uncomfortable. I had to face these things myself, but when you face it and you go through that discomfort, you feel so happy. Your confidence is on a different level. So that's one of the major things that I've always done naturally anyway, you know, without clients saying, can you do that for me? I just know what works because I had the same anxiety problem and I know how it changed my life. So let me give you an example if you've never met me before. So I'm walking now in London, in central London on Regent Street, and I'm doing a video vlog, and I'm completely confident and relaxed. There's people everywhere, there's people around me. I couldn't do this 10 years ago. I physically wouldn't have been able to do it, because I was too embarrassed, I was too nervous. I was so embarrassed about myself and what people would think about me. But obviously, because I've been teaching and coaching for 10 years, and in between that, I've challenged myself in all the areas where I was afraid, in no chronological order. So the first area where I was scared was going out in public, going into shops, interacting with people, buying groceries, buying food. I had to get over that. The second one for me was getting on public transport, trains, buses. I weren't comfortable, so I did that. And then it was actually moving on to going to the gym. I was afraid to go to the gym. I was afraid to be around people in case they looked at me, they judged me, in case I got awkward. If someone asked me a question, I got nervous. I was really afraid of that. So I faced that. Then I was afraid to go to the boxing gym and box. I did that. Then I was afraid to go on dates. I was petrified of women going on dates. So I went on, you know, hundreds of dates over a period of 10 years, got over that. And then I was afraid of public speaking, did that. And I was definitely afraid, you know, maybe 10 years ago, 8 years ago, I was afraid to do what I'm doing now, especially in my city, London. I was afraid that what if I see one of my mum's friends, or what if I see my dad's friend or someone from my neighborhood and they think, oh, what's Jonathan doing? He's strange, he's walking down the street making a video. So, you know, I cared what people thought. So when I work with a client, he doesn't have to tell me what the problem is. I know what the problem is because I had it and I can recognize it, and I also know what the solution is. And the solution is exposure therapy. For those of you that don't know that term, that's the professional psychological term, which is, I kind of like it. I'll use my language. You've got to face the fear, you've got to face it, and you've got to do it gradually, because obviously no one expects you to climb Mount Everest in one day. I didn't face all my fears in one day. I did it over time, one step at a time. So even when I'm working with a client who specifically wants to work in the area of dating, fantastic, and getting over the anxiety of talking to women, which is a big problem for men in general. All men have this problem until they solve it, especially men who have what I had, my clients have, we have. Let me explain something, right? Let me put it into perspective. Everyone has anxiety, that's normal. And the reason why we have anxiety is because we're all aware that we're going to die. I know it's a bit morbid, but it's the truth. So being aware, knowing that we're not going to live forever, and you know, we are not immortal like in Highlander, that's gonna make you anxious from time to time. I don't care how tough you are, because you know, we love our family, depending on where you're at, loving life, and it's natural. You're afraid of the unknown, death. So knowing that we are all on this earth for a short amount of time makes you scared. But there are some people, I was one of those, and all my clients are, where our anxiety levels are a lot higher than the average person. So the average person has fear and anxiety, but they can walk around, they can go shopping, they can go on a date, they can go to family gatherings, they can go to work, and they can deal with it. But someone with a really severe anxiety disorder, like the way I used to be, and I'm not saying all my clients, but majority, it's not easy for them. It's not easy for them to do things because the anxiety is so intense that it's easier to avoid it. So It's all about this one thing. Before I can help you, this is the one thing that you have to have. You have to choose to commit to wanting to do this. And if you don't, then I can't help you, unfortunately. I'm not saying that I won't help you. I'm not saying that. I'll give everything I can in these videos, but I will not be able to help someone who is not ready. It wouldn't be right. It's not fair. You can't do that. I was just saying, when I started out, I rejected help. People tried to help me. I was too proud. I wasn't ready. I was scared. So I'm not going to judge you. I'm not judging you if you're not ready. I'm just telling you the truth because I want to help you. So I can only help men who put their hand up and say, Johnny, I'm ready to go. No excuses, let's do this. I need your help. I need to take you coaching, whether it's coaching for getting over my anxiety of quitting my job and starting a business, or whether it's coaching for specifically for getting over the anxiety of talking to women and getting a relationship, or just getting comfortable with the opposite sex, or whether it's a people thing in general, you know, getting more comfortable with family at work. This is the area, this is where I'm passionate. What I can say is, you know, any guy can do this, because I done it, and I had, oh man, my issues were major issues. The hardest client that I've ever coached in my life was me. So when I succeeded and I got over this and I improved it, I was like, I could help so many guys, and obviously that's what I went on to do. Thank God, I'm grateful. He blessed me with the strength and the social skills and the hunger. So back to my point. This is why I say, unfortunately, reading books is not going to improve your anxiety, because let me just explain something to you right now. Reading a book could never beat this right now. Someone with anxiety needs to be doing something like this. They need to be in public. They need to be around people. They need to be getting used to people and environments and noises and things like that. And that's how you grow. And the more that it's hard at the start and it's uncomfortable. No one wants to do it. But when you do it and you go through it, you're going to want to keep going. Do you know why? Because you're going to feel so good afterwards. So isn't it worth it? Look, if you're going to go through something, if you're going to go through something, noise band. It's such a horrible noise, isn't it? Hold on. If you're gonna go through something that is extremely challenging emotionally and mentally, but when you come out the other side, you're gonna feel on like Superman, wouldn't you do it? I think you would. So knowing what I know and knowing what it's done for me with my clients, I want you to have the same knowing and understanding. And the only way you're going to get that is by finding your courage, which everyone's got, and it's free, and pushing yourself and facing, even if you do one thing today, even let's say for example, you're scared to come outside of your house, go into Tesco's and buy some bread. Go and do that. Go to Tesco's, buy some bread, just say hello and walk out and leave. It's all about the small steps. It's not about trying to do everything in one go. It's the little details that make a huge difference. I could not be doing what I'm doing now. I couldn't be where I am doing what I'm doing now, being able to have this confidence, if I didn't take the small steps. So the small steps help you to deal with the monster, the imaginary monster in your head, the anxiety, the demons, the fears, the fear of what people think. Those small steps help you to take on the bigger steps. Let me give you an example. At the start, if someone said to me, Jonathan, you're going to go into public speaking, I would have shit my pants. There's no way I'll do it. But because I said, well, I'm not ready for public speaking, but I can go on a first date, or I can go down the boxing gym and maybe just say hello and hit the bag. Or I can just go for a walk for an hour in my area or in the park, or get on the train. After doing those little things, it gave me a bit more confidence. It enabled me to control the anxiety a little bit better and think, you know what? I enjoyed that. It was challenging, but I done it. I'm ready for the next thing. So it's like a video game. Level 1 needs to be completed, because you're not going to complete level 10. Level 10 at the start is going to wipe you out. It's too challenging. You're not going to do it. But if you do level 1, you get some understanding, some confidence. Level 2, level 3. By the time you get to level 5, you start realizing, you know what? I'm slowly going to be ready for level 10. It's exactly the same way in the way we approach anxiety. We're facing it in the exposure therapy, gaining the confidence, learning to relax more, and over time naturally you will just be more of a relaxed person in all these new social situations, or in any situation which makes you feel fearful. It works in every. That's why I love this teaching. That's why I dedicated my life. That's why one of my clients said, don't you ever get bored, Jonathan, of talking about the same thing? I said, I don't get bored of it, because there's so many layers to it, and there's many men that need this information, they need the teaching. So I don't get bored of it, and if I got bored of it, I would quit. I'd stop right now. I wouldn't do something if I was bored of it and I didn't enjoy it. So there you go, all right? I'll speak to you soon, fearless.